Hello everyone, good morning. So today I'm going to continue the uh, story of Babysitter Little Sister Karen's New Year, written by Anne Martin. So, chapter 12, Back to School. I couldn't believe it. Christmas was over. New Year's Eve was over, and now our winter holiday was over. It was time to go back to school. Luckily, I like school. I didn't mind going back. I liked my teacher very much. Her name is Miss Coleman. And Honey and Nancy and I are all in Miss Coleman's second grade class. Miss Coleman hardly ever shouts. She is very patient with me. I am the youngest kid in my class and sometimes I forget things. I forget when to use my inner voice and when to put up my hand. Miss Coleman reminds me nicely. I like most of the other kids in my class too. I have a friend named Natalie and a friend named Sarah, but I especially like this boy named Ricky Torres. I used to call him Yiki Ricky. That was because he teased me when I got glasses. Now we both wear glasses, and Ricky has stopped teasing me. I plan to marry him. When I got to school on the first day after the holidays, I marched right up to Ricky's desk. He sits next to me in the front row. I had to keep my fourth New Year's resolution. Ricky, I said, will you ask me to marry you? Ricky was sitting at his desk. He was coloring in a picture of a spaceship. Okay, he replied. He didn't even look at me. You will? Yup. Goody. I couldn't wait. Then I ran to the back of the room where Honey and Nancy were talking and taking off their coats. Hi everyone, I said. The three musketeers were together again. Hi, they replied. We talked for a few minutes about your holidays. Then I said to Nancy, did you make a New Year's resolution? Yes, replied Nancy. Even though this isn't the Jewish New Year, we celebrate that in the autumn. But I resolved to stop passing notes to Honey at school. Oh, that's good, I said. I like that resolution. Honey sat down at her desk. She pulled through the junk in it with one hand. She bit the nails. She bit the nails on her other hand. Honey, you're biting your nails again, I cried. Oh, said sorry. She looked guilty. I went right back to my desk. I pulled the notebook out of it. I'd been carrying the notebook around with me. On Honey's On Honey's page, I wrote January 3. Honey was biting her nails again. At break, I realized something. Ricky had not asked me to marry him yet. I had to go and find him. He was playing catch with Hank Robbins. Hey, Ricky, I yelled. Come here. Ricky tossed the ball to Hank. Then he ran to me. Yeah, he said. You haven't asked me to marry you yet. I know. Well, I didn't say when I would ask you, Ricky replied. I felt grumpy. No one was keeping their promises. It wasn't fair. So that's the last part of that was the um, episode chapter 12. So let us proceed to chapter 13. Oops. After break, we went back to our classroom. We never know what to expect then. Sometimes Miss Coleman has work for us to do. Sometimes she has a fun project for us. Sometimes she reads to us. That day she read. Class, began Miss Coleman. Since it's the beginning of a new year, I thought we should start a new book. This is the book that I've picked out. Miss Coleman held up a copy of Dr. Dolittle. I know that book, I cried without putting up my hand. Indoor voice, Karen, said Miss Coleman, and please remember to put up your hand. Sorry, I said. Anyway, it's a story about a man who can talk to animals. That's right, said Miss Coleman, and she began to read. The story was so good that I turned around in my seat. I wanted to see how Honey and Nancy liked it. Guess what? Their hands were joined. They were passing a note. I swung around and pulled my notebook out of my desk. On Nancy's page, I wrote January 3, Nancy passed a note to Honey at school. I was angry. But when I asked them about it after school, Honey said I passed the note, Karen. Nancy kept her solution. I didn't believe her. That night, Andrew and I were back at the little house. I was so happy to see Mommy and Seth again. So, was Andrew? We had a very nice dinner together. Then I did my homework. I was in the middle of a hard math problem when I heard Mommy say, Time to go to get ready for bed, Andrew. I jumped up. I knew what he would do first, brush his teeth. I stood outside the door to the bathroom and listened. When I heard Andrew spit out his toothpaste, I peeped in the bathroom. Andrew didn't floss his teeth. Okay, I thought. Andrew isn't keeping his resolution either. I tiptoed back to my bedroom. I made a page for Andrew and wrote January 3 Andrew did not floss his teeth after dinner. While I was writing, I chewed a piece of bazooka bubble gum. Suddenly, something occurred to me. Was this gum sugarless? No. Now what had I done? I had broken my first resolution for sure. Oh well, I would just change it. Christy had not said yet you couldn't change resolutions. So on my resolution paper, I crossed out the word sweets and wrote in chocolate. I will not eat chocolate. There, that was still a good resolution. Soon it was my turn to go to bed. Mommy and Seth kissed me goodnight. They turned out the light. I lay in bed and thought, Sam hadn't kept his resolution. Christy hadn't kept hers. Neither had Andrew nor Nancy nor Hanny. I thought so much that I could not fall asleep. I knelt on my bed and stared out of the window. When I finally felt tired, I looked at my clock. The time was 10:15. I was awake way past my bedtime. Uh-oh, now what had I done? Using a torch, I changed my third resolution to read. I will not stay up past my bedtime even to read, unless I cannot fall asleep. So, that was the chapter 12. So, let me continue to the chapter 14. Karen the Spy. On January the 11th, Mommy drove Andrew and me to the big house for the weekend. We hadn't been there since our long New Year's visit. I brought my notebook with me. It was getting pretty full. Andrew had barely remembered to floss his teeth. Hanny kept biting her nails, and I had seen Nancy write 2 notes and pass them to Hanny. I wondered how the people in my big house family were doing. I hoped they were doing better than Andrew and Hanny and Nancy. As soon as dinner was over, I decided to find out. I knew that Nanny was supposed to do some exercise and walk around with her walker. Where did she exercise? I tiptoed around the house until I found her in the family room. Elizabeth was with her. Just a little more, Mom, Elizabeth was saying. Just a little more. I heard Nanny gasping. I don't think I can. That's enough for tonight. Okay, you did really well, Elizabeth replied. I ducked into a cupboard. I opened my notebook. On Nanny's page, I wrote, Nanny's not working her hardest. Then I sneaked upstairs. I saw Charlie in his room. He was doing his homework. The phone rang then, and Charlie called, I'll get it. I raced into my room before Charlie couldn't see me. In my notebook, I wrote, Charlie talked on the phone while he was supposed to be doing his homework. He has been talking for 4 minutes. Couldn't anybody keep the resolutions? I hid my notebook under my pillow. Then I went into David's Michael room. Hey, I said. Hey, he answered. David Michael was busy. He was drawing pictures of teenage mutant hero turtles. This one is Raphael, he told me. Nice, I said. Listen, David Michael. Did you practice your hitting and pitching today? Nah, he replied. But that was your resolution, to practice every day. But it was raining today. Back to my room. David Michael did not practice today. I took my notebook and sneaked downstairs. I heard a noise in the kitchen, so I flattened myself against the wall in the hall. Then I slipped towards the kitchen and peeped around the corner. What do you think I saw? Daddy was taking a cake out of the fridge. He cut himself a slice. Then he sat down at the table by himself and ate the whole slice. Now, how was Daddy going to lose 10 pounds by April if he ate cake? Elizabeth was trying to help him lose weight. She was giving him fruit for dessert, but Daddy was sneaking sweets. I raced upstairs. In huge letters on Daddy's page, I wrote, Daddy ate piece of cake and he is supposed to be on diet. That night I spied on Elizabeth. She finished everything she started, so she was keeping her resolution. But almost everyone else in the big house had broken their New Year's resolutions. Even Shannon, who had an accident by the front door, and Boo Boo, who scratched Daddy. Only Emily didn't break a resolution. That was because she didn't have one to break, and that wasn't fair. I was disappointed in my big house family. So that's the the chapter 14. So I in the story that Karen's noticed that everyone was not um serious of their New Year resolutions like she was. So she she was a little bit angry about it because um of the because of the New Year resolution. So let us in my next video, uh what she might be doing, what she might be felt if these resolutions um was not going serious at all. So um let us continue to read on the next video. So for now, I'm going to say bye. Take care.